Oh, it's a good number to keep in through. Okay,
Mr. Mayor, may I ask one more question?
go ahead.
Has the footprint of the library changed in the relationship from that original master plan and where that parking lot was supposed to be? Yeah, okay. So that would have to be part of the conversation.
Oh, there's a lot of discussion there.
Just, I mean, I haven't,
Okay.
it's been a while since I've been on the library board, and I haven't, I'm not up to date on what that, the library's moved.
Yeah.
I should say the future library has moved.
Well, it's always been up on the front, even the whole time, so it's just that piece of this part.
Okay,
Even with them, it was always on the front.
okay. So the parking lot portion in the vision of the library is still a parking. Okay. Right.
Okay, any other discussion on the Maple Street? We'll move along.
We'll say that they've got that complaint commission.
Yes, it has been. Many times discussion. Any other discussion on the Maple Street lot? Hearing none, we'll move on to discussion regarding the Main Street traffic control. Mr. Manager.
That was put on at the request of council member Powell.
And Harry,
I'm not
and
sure.
Howard,
Okay.
both discussed the huge amount of traffic that comes on Main Street sometimes, and we've got numbers on an average weekday of 1,000, 10 going one way. So we've got to figure about 20,000 going both ways. We don't have an exact count, but I do have this printout from Sergeant Kelly that we had an average daily count going north of over 10,000. So you got to figure, double. Yeah.
Do you have both copies?
Yeah, but it didn't actually have a count on the other count,
North side. North, south side.
the south count.
They just had the counter set up for northbound traffic, so whatever goes north usually goes south.
Yeah. So it's,
Because we've got two different studies, right?
The first time the board was set out there, at the request for speed. It should have saved. I don't know if they provided that. I have to check.
I was thinking we got the numbers on both. I was wanting to think the
That
days
was
is different.
January, I think, so I can't remember yesterday.
We can agree there's a lot of traffic going down that road.
yeah. I didn't get a count on that one.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, in fact, there's data that wasn't provided. At that time, it was not requested for traffic, it was requested for speed.
Sure.
So now that there's
And thank you for that.
Yep. So I can check. But you also remember that, and I can explain to you, Mr. Hopkins, that when we set it out there for the northbound traffic, that was in January. The board was winterized. The reason that board was winterized is because it's solar powered. So I can give you numbers from January. I'm sure they're safe. They will not be accurate because that board, due to the cloud cover, some days it worked, some days it didn't. Some hours it worked, some hours it didn't. There wasn't enough sunlight to run the board all night long. The board that we set up this year for southbound traffic, there was enough sun that it ran 24/7. So again, it's solar battery, so that.
That explains why part of the time it looked like it wasn't on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the southbound, there was no blank times of that. It was on. Maybe during daytime hours, sometimes just an angle in the sunlight, you can't see it, but the oncoming car can. But yeah, when we had it set up for the northbound traffic, there was times it wasn't on. In fact, I don't remember, but back in January, we also moved it to East Muskegon. I pulled it from East Muskegon because it was off where it was on. We didn't have enough sunlight. We did pull it there again this time, and the numbers are similar to Main Street.
I just found it interesting, our southbound is busiest on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. Yeah, it was in a
Church goes.
Well, I do have, I have a count for 12 days on that southbound, and it has 107,205 in 12 days. In one direction.
Yeah, actually, I think East Muskegon is a little higher higher than that. Possibly, I don't, you don't quote me, but I know, it's funny you say that, because Wednesday, the skiing festival, according to the check box, so how many days have going on? I'm not been drawing, so.
That's a great lunch
CR
special.
Summer reading.
Yeah.
It's the summer reading program, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, we have a discussion regarding the traffic control. So now we know what traffic is. Mr. Nixon?
So it seems to me, due to lack of lots of car crashes, what we really have is more of a pedestrian problem. And so I feel like I would like to see some kind of option to make the city more walkable. I think that'll help businesses, especially from the White Pine Trail. Your business is on the opposite side of Main Street. If they can't get to you, that White Pine Trail being part of the National Trail Association doesn't help you at all. So short of widening it to a 4-lane, which I don't feel like would be possible without upheaval of the city, I feel like we just need to find a way to have some kind of pedestrian bridge somewhere. I know we have one down by Moreland Park.
So long way to walk.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I feel like we should do something to that effect on the other end or in the middle if we could. I'm certain there will be many hurdles to getting this done, but having tried to cross Main Street is a problem. I don't think that anyone can deny it's a problem.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
Mr. Truesdale?
Is it the common thought that traffic light would be out of the question because of cost? Is that what we were talking about?
It's strictly discussion only, nothing's been really said one way or another. It's just ideas. Speed, it's not, is speed an issue on Main Street?
No.
Okay.
Well, at least with the board there, we got the conversation before too with that.
Basically, we have a pedestrian issue, so, that's what we need to look at, maybe future, whatever.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask a
Okay.
question?
Sure. Okay.
So we have that crosswalk that's down by the library. That was donated to the city, I believe, by the Fulton.
Library.
Moreland Park. Or down by Moreland Park, I'm sorry. By the Fulton?
Yes, Mrs. Holton donated that because her grandchildren would walk across to go to Wiggle Field or Skinner Field at the time, and there was a pedestrian issue there, and she requested that built. Now that Skinner Field is no longer as active as it was, so it's there.
So
That's why
just to clarify, it was donated by
It was
us.
donated by the Holtons, correct.
Would that be something, is it appropriate to approach the community building development team to look at things like grants or to do a conjunction with them for something like that on the other end of town, say between Veterans Memorial Park and the property that the library boardwalk?
Whatever.
I would think maybe a flashing light and pedestrian has the right of way. I don't know how that works in, but I see cities like Holland and that have designated. You take an overhead bridge, how are you going to get a handicapped person from the east to the west?
Good point. That's something to look into, definitely. That's another option.
Mr. Mayor, there's been discussion about rerouting traffic up Pine Street and then over to Fifth and then over to 17 Mile that way.
Many times.
Many times. And one of the objections to that, the problems with that lot,
Nobody could get to the businesses downtown.
they could get there if that was where the business was. At least reroute the trucks down there.
That's a thought. There's been discussion many years for traffic, truck routes.
I know the Fifth Street people love it.
Oh, yeah.
We get the trucks now.
I know you do.
Okay, where are we going with this?
Yeah,
Can we get a study or?
Yeah, I just lost your vote.
Let's keep it one at a time, please.
We certainly can do a study, but we reached out to our engineering firm and, exactly what he said was the cost is gonna be $3,000 or so. And he said, I wouldn't bother doing it because I don't think the council is going to get the answer they want, and I hate to see it throw money away. But that said, that said, he said, if you want us to do it, they'll do it, but it's, $3,000, and he doesn't believe, based on his knowledge, that you're going to get the answer that you want.
Having that,
It's only gonna be a count. Anyway,
yeah,
you could stand out there, Jerry, and count it.
So could you not?
And do it for 2,000.
but we have the seal that says we are.
Well, it's going to be more than a count.
It's a count, they do a lot.
It's a study. It's more than just count.
Okay, Mr. Hobson.
I was wondering, what's that count for? What's that study for? Is it just for stop signs, or is that for walk lanes too, or just stop signs?
Tom, do you remember how you phrased that with Mike?
You have to understand, as a council, you don't have the authority to place a traffic control device anywhere. That's the state's decision. The state would look at the recommendation from the engineer, would do their own, which is going to cost you money, and would do their own studies, and the engineer is telling you they're not going to put anything in there. That's up to the state. That's not up to the council. It's not up to the city. It's up to the state.
Mayor? I think we've kicked this around a lot. And, you have anything further, Mr.?
Well, just, follow the Tom, there is a manual that you have to refer to and what warrants a certain device, and that's what they're looking at. That's what they'll all be checking. And what he's saying that he just doesn't think, stop signs, those kind of things are warranted in downtown based on the guidelines.
Having dealt with the state on some other issues regarding stop signs and traffic lights, we have to do a study and it has to warrant a traffic control device. If it does not, and we go ahead and put one in, we, the city, would be totally liable for any accident that happens on that intersection. Any suits, because it doesn't meet the criteria for that. We went round and round with that West Street in Muskegon. We went round and round on that, and that was determined. The state says you can't put it in there. The county says we ain't put it in because the state says you can't, but if you do, it's going to cost you $40,000 just to install it. And then you're opening up for a lawsuit. So, having said that, I think Mr. Clark, you were right.
Very quickly, I love the Michigan Municipal League and all the information they give, and I've attended one of their special conferences on rebuilding downtown areas, over downtown areas. And they have some ideas for slowing down traffic that do not require stop signs or devices. But the key, and Tom is right, you have to go to the state first and make your appeal, show them your plan, what you want, find a buddy in the state that will work with you, but you've got to know what you want when you go there. You don't go there guessing or thinking. You go there, this is our plan, how can you help us get there?
Okay. I guess we'll have further discussion on this at a later time, unless there's further today. Any other comments? Hearing none. Item I, discussion on the report from the Friends of Skinner Field, first consideration. Mrs. Powell, I believe.
Well, I just thought we could ask for a report, and I was pretty much shot down on that deal, so I don't know where we can go from here. we're just wondering how it's going and if everything's working okay.
Okay,
Teams are showing up, yeah.
I think, yeah,
Whatever council wants to do, again, the biggest issue I had with Councilmember Powell's request was the timing, where it was just 2 days, barely would have 2 days to put together a report of any usefulness and get it in the packet. That was the only case, and I just remind you that they are due for an annual report in September. So, do you want to wait until September? Do you want to do it something sooner?
Just get like just
I would like to see a preliminary, some type of report.
I can ask them to do
Of what he's at, where he's doing, what's happening.
real quick update
Yeah,
for
but-
next meeting.
We can't cheer about it if we don't know what's going on.
You know, what's his user count, who's doing what, who's there, that would be nice information.
I can ask him to do an update
Yeah.
at the July meeting.
Because he had said that different times that he was gonna present some, and we haven't seen one, so I guess we'll ask. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
can I say something on that? You know, we turned down CASA. Yeah,
we didn't.
well, we did,
I did.
no. And, they had money to develop, and they had a master plan. And then it, you know, we let the Friends of Skinnerfield have it. And I don't see anything happening yet. The paint is still in disrepair. There's nothing being done at Skinnerfield that is benefiting us as a city.
Okay,
I have follow-up comments.
go ahead.
Okay. I recently moved
You're there.
to 4th Street. I have an excellent view of Skinnerfield directly out my front door. I can attest that there are 3 or 4 people there regularly mowing and weed whacking and keeping it looking nice. I personally have been able to go to that field with my daughter and fly kites because there's no power open. I see people there all day long. The community is using it. I've seen people scraping paint on the press box. I understand that the progress may be slow, but it is happening.
Okay, then I'm
Okay, thank you for that report. Anybody else? Any other? Mr. Clark?
In response to Rose's comment about having the Skinner Field folks report to us 4 times a year, that was my request when we were first considering this, and it was not accepted, but it was an idea that was tossed about, and I was in favor of that because this was such a new enterprise, a new almost concept of taking a public property and putting it into the hands of a non-public entity for management. And I just felt like that we needed to keep a little closer tab on what was going on because ultimately we are responsible for it. That being said, I talked to Sean in the meantime, and one of my biggest concerns, I think, has been dealt with, and that was that he was chairing both the Rocket Football Committee and Skinner Field. And I think that has changed. I'm not sure to what extent, but at least I was encouraged, by that lesser, not total diminishment, but a lesser possible conflict of interest there. So, but I was also in favor of hearing what's going on there.
Okay. I think we'll get a report next council, in July. Any other discussion on this topic? Hearing none. Moving on to item number 10, the manager's report.
Item J.
Item J, oh, J, that's right. Mine didn't get put there.
J.
Okay, we have item J included,
We need a motion to suspend House 12.
yes,
Mr. Mayor, move that we suspend, waive policy 12 for this motion.
Second.
for the special events for the chamber. Okay, this is motion to item 12. Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins.
I would like to be here for this particular conflict of interest.
Madam Clerk?
You need to vote on his abstention.
Yes, we do. Thank you. We would need to, even on this, to waive the council's policy.
First, you should vote on his extension.
Well,
Should he abstain from this?
from the
Portion.
waiving policy 12 of the city council.
Are you requesting being waived from that part of the?
Or he needed to be waived from that. The next one is obviously, he'll need to be, we'll take that motion next, but
I think so.
I just want to make sure we do it right. That was my recommendation.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to allow Councilor Hopkins to abstain from voting on waiving item J, as well as voting on waiving policy 12. Sorry.
support.
Supported.
Ms. Nixon has moved and supported to allow Councilor Hopkins to abstain from both item 12 and the approval of the special event. Everybody understand that? Okay, a roll call vote. Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mrs. Nixon?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale?
Yes.
Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Hall votes yes. Would we have him vote on that also? No.
Yes.
Right. The motion carries for him to abstain from these next votes. Okay, back to the original motion to waive policy number 12. Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Hopkins is abstaining. Mrs. Nixon?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Truesdale? Yes. Mrs. Conlon?
Yes.
Mr. Hall votes yes, motion carries. I'll entertain a motion for a special event for the Cedar Springs Chamber of Commerce. Special event, sidewalk days this weekend.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the special event status for the summer celebration given by the chamber.
Second.
Support. Mrs. Powell seconded. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
Section 5, you say all day. What does that mean? Is that 24 hours? Is it 6 in the morning to 6 at night? Is it?
Well, basically, I think originally we wrote in all day, it's Friday night. We plan on doing a movie in the park like what we did for the Renaissance. We're gonna do that for each of the second weekend of the month. And, if it rains on Friday, we wanna be able to do it on Saturday, and Saturday we be able to do the sidewalk sales.
Okay. Can we like add that to the thing?
We just have it written in there.
It just has dates and then it has all day.
Yeah, but it also has the 7th month, which would be July, the 8th month, which
And then
is August.
September. Like, I'm just very confused.
Same here, I thought this was a one-day deal or one weekend.
I thought it was a weekend.
If you wanna just do July and then do the other ones.
Separate?
Yeah.
They would be separate community events?
Yep.
Okay, so we're crossing out the,
7th
the
month, or 8th month,
8,
the 7th
9,
and 8th. The 9th month, for the 11th and 12th will be stricken from this application. Okay,
so
there's
the
a
10th and
motion.
11th, and then, okay, can we clarify the all-day portion again on that? Because what you have right now is Saturday, you have Friday and Saturday, and you want Sunday as a rain day?
No,
No.
we don't want Sunday in there.
Okay.
So what,
Just Friday, basically, after 6 o'clock.
okay,
6 a.m.
So that for the movie part in the park.
so 6
but there
a.m.
will be
to 6
sidewalk
p.m.?
sales On Friday and Saturday, because during business hours, it wouldn't be like at midnight.
So 9 to 11? 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.? 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But then you have the movie.
Then the movie in the park would be
Right, but you need
more
that,
towards,
but you need that included as part of the community
Right,
event
totally.
if you want this noise
Yeah.
ordinance this way.
yeah, totally.
Does that get you there?
Yep,
Okay,
Both,
so,
both days would be 9 to 11.
yes.
So we have to go to number 4, which again includes the August and September.
item 4, that 9th month, 11th and 12th would be struck. So this would only pertain to July 10 and 11.
Okay, then public parking businesses, and then I don't have the last page, like I have nothing.
The manager filled that out already. He didn't do that.
Okay.
He's just checking off what we got.
He announced that in the...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So any other comments from the manager that we don't have your sheet?
Well, I have my sheet, I'm comfortable with.
Right, but we don't have your sheet.
Right, I'm comfortable with, I checked them off.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're good?
I made it appropriate.
Okay, we're all set then. Okay, the maker of the motion here, this is only for 7 months, 11
10 and
and
11.
10. From 9 to 11 both days. Mr. Clark,
Yes.
do you understand that?
Oh, you asked me if I understand?
Yes, your motion was for this, we have modified it only to the 7th month.
I move to amend the motion as stated.
Okay,
Okay, July 10th and 11th. And hours are now 9 to 11.
Okay, Mr.
9 a.m.
Powell,
to
do you agree to those changes on that? You would support of that motion?
I'm supporting that motion, but I would like a copy of the non-filled out page.
Well, that doesn't pertain to the motion.
Oh,
Okay.
I understand that.
We'll get that to you. Okay, everybody understands this. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Mrs. Conlon. Mr. Truesdale.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mrs. Nixon.
Yes.
Mr. Clark.
Yes?
Mr. Hall votes yes. Hopkins abstains. Manager Taylor, can you get a copy of the bank to Mrs. Powell? And,
Any copy of insurance on this one too, or?
sure, that'd be nice, why not? There you go. Okay, any other discussion? We're moving to item number 10, the city manager's report.
This is an update on the USDA project. It looks like we're going to close on the 24th of June. The anticipated start date of the project is the 20th of July. We're going to be having an open house on the 8th of July. It is what it is. It's an open house with a special invitation to the residents in that area. And then we'll have the engineers, Tom, some of his staff on hand. They will explain the project and be able to answer questions that anybody might have. And we'll get information on the project out on our website and some articles, at least one article. As a reminder, those that attended the Open Meetings Act of Parliamentary Procedure Training, if you haven't gotten the evaluations, please do. I got to get those in. In terms of the fire study with Solon Township, we do have an agreement that was sent to us by the consultant. I have it signed by Solon Township. It's ready for the mayor's signature. We have to get that back to the consultant. Spoke with the consultant and talked about a couple of things and made sure we were still on board with the study, and we talked about some dates and times. And it appears that he's going to begin in mid-July. And finally, I'll be on vacation July 11th through 18th, and I'll be available by cell or email. That's it.
Thank you. Monthly reports, any questions on the Department of Public Works?
I have one thing I need to add. We had a sewer fail, partially failed at the 5th and D Streets.
They slowed traffic down nicely.
Yeah, we have a sinkhole there now. It has to be fixed before it completely fails. We have Deans coming in the morning to fix it. Unfortunately, it's going to cost us a lot of money. I have a previous engagement, so I will be gone tomorrow. Bill LaRose will be taking care of that project tomorrow, and I will be available to him by phone all day.
Tell me money.
I have an 8-year-old that I think would find that very exciting.
It's gonna be a big hole.
Yeah.
Moving time.
Yes, yeah, you move it. Police department, Mr. Kelly, Officer Kelly, Sergeant Tyler. Officer of the year.
I'm 30 years, yes. Congratulations again.
Chief Fraser.
I'm willing to field any questions if there are none. We had a busy month, we had a good month, a safe month. I look forward to plenty of activities, and my calendar for June is already filled.
I didn't see nothing yet.
And the rest of the reports are in the council pack?
Correct.
I'd just like to say thank you to Mr. Fraser and the fire department for the wonderful display. Summer reading kickoff is such a big deal for our community to have those things out there and for kids.
As Judy Reed quoted in the paper, I love doing that for the community. I don't remember saying I love doing it. I do enjoy that. The kids, the expression on the kids is just priceless.
Kevin myself had to pry a small child out of your fire department.
We had one little boy. I'm not sure if he was special needs or not, but we had him up to school, and I'm pretty sure I lost track somewhere around 16 or 17 trips through the fire truck. I'm not sure just how many he did make, but he was a riot. He's just a ball of fun.
Well, it's a huge thing you do for our community. Thank you for that. It's a huge thing that you do for our community for that, and thank you for that.
We as a group enjoy it.
My grandson is right immensely. He was headed for the buttons on the Any questions of any of the board's commissions? Hearing none, we'll move on to council comments. Mr. Clark.
Marty, who's one of our volunteers? Craig Bowens?
Greg Bowen.
Greg Bowens.
Lives north of town, yes.
Okay, I want to give him some kudos for taking on some extra responsibility. About 3 weeks ago, I think it's been now. I'm coming home about 9 o'clock at night, maybe 10 even, right in front of the fire barn. Did he tell you about this?
Oh, with where they dropped the semi.
They dropped the semi right in front of the doors. I mean, right in the parking area in front. And I saw that and I thought, holy cow, we can't have those guys. They're doing the construction. We can't have those guys parking there. So I pull in and there's Greg. He's got his one-ton duty. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. He's got his truck there. I thought he was with them. So I asked him, I said, are you working with these guys? And he said, I'm yelling at them. Tell them to get that truck out of there. They can't park there. So that was my first introduction to Greg, that I thought, here's a guy, he must have been on his way home and saw the same thing and just figured he's got to stop it and get things right. So
He works for a gravel company. Well, they haul different, but they do gravel trains mostly during the summer, road repair and then crops in the fall and stuff. And he happened to be, like you said, on his way home.
yeah, it was good.
Mrs. Powell.
I guess the only issue I can address tonight is the Red Flannel Festival, and people say, oh, we got to talk to the people, we got to talk to the people. And I think based on the election, the people spoke, and between Pam and Molly and I, who people know we support the festival, we love Red Flannel Town, we were elected by 1,038 votes. And I think that says it right there.
Good. Thank you. Very coming. Mrs. Conlon.
I would just like to thank Doug Clark for coming and talking to us about the library. That is, it just, as a teacher who's about to head on summer vacation, and I have a small child bouncing off the walls, I'm very excited to start with the summer reading program. We'll be there tomorrow morning. I may be very early. And I would like to thank Mrs. Burlington for coming in again tonight. I know she's gone now, but I just would like it to be in the noted that she came in, and again, thank her and acknowledge her husband's contribution to this community. And I'm glad that we're having this opportunity in this capacity, and I thank the festival for giving us this opportunity to honor him.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to remind everybody we got the Renaissance Fair this weekend. Hope everybody takes the time to come out and have some fun. We got over 3 times the amount of vendors we had last year, and about 4, almost 5 times the amount of entertainment. And if our next year's growth ends up being the same as this one, we're more than likely going to need to use another park along with it. And there's
Quick
a lot
plug
of
on
people-
time.
What's that?
Quick plug on time.
Quick plug on time, is Friday night, we're allowing their vendors and stuff to start setting up at 5, not doing that before 5, but other people that still use the park during the day. At 6 o'clock, the Lions Club is going to be serving like hot dogs and brats. I'm not sure if they're doing burgers or not, but I know they're at least running dogs and brats. It's part of the starting. And then, Kent Theater is gonna be doing their catering closer towards the movie.
Yeah, they're allowing popcorn, it's all on the Cedar Creek coast, very well laid out.
Cool.
Nice setup.
Oh, great.
Basically, it's a 3-day up one. And there's gonna be people coming from Wisconsin, Indiana, all over Michigan, and they're excited about this right here. There's nothing on this side of the state. Cadillac started one, they lasted 2 years, but they tried going too big and fast, so they didn't last. And all the other ones, the most they lasted was 2 maybe 3 years, so we wanna make sure that this one lasts, because otherwise there's nothing on this side of the state to rent. They're all traveling 4 to 6 hours. And so we got, all good there. I wanted to address something on the public forum. We encourage, so the council welcomes and encourages the public to speak during the public comments and public hearing portion of the agenda. I've heard comments from citizens regarding former councils, and I'm afraid that that same fear is going to come to this one. Someone said that previous councils, they were afraid to make comments because they would get the city inspector would come and check out their building and stuff like that. Well, I noticed after these last couple of meetings where we talked about the red flannel, there's been some inquiring about a couple of the boards, squares and stuff like that, like on the chamber and on behalf of the Friends of Springfield. I am hoping that that is done truly out of expression for the best interest of this community, not that somebody is taking something personal, because they can't separate themselves from something that they're passionate about and the position of the board. So we have to remember when we, as council members, when we talk about the city, we gotta remember that we're the city. Anytime we run down the city, we're running ourselves down. And I hear that and I see that stuff in emails, and that's stuff we need to keep in mind.
Thank you. Mr. Tuesday.
Well, it was unfortunate if there was ever a division between the city and the Red Flannel Festival. And we all know that, and some of us can remember how it all came about. And now we're under fire that we're prejudiced to the Red Flannel Festival. I tell you, we had dozens of people in our store during all that crowded around that said, why not the Red Flannel Festival? That's the only thing. I mean, people coming in from other little towns around and shopping and saying, that's the only thing Cedar Springs got going for them, and for 70 some years. And, it's just unfortunate that a few, I really believe, folks, if we were to take a poll, had an election, who wants the Red Flannel Festival aboard and who doesn't, it would be almost unanimous in favor of what this group is doing. And I'm proud of this group and the way they're moving forward. And it's way past my bedtime.
Thank you.
Then I will try to keep this brief.
Thank you.
I am continuously overwhelmed by the spectacular groups that we do have in Cedar Springs, all of which are working toward the betterment of our community. Friends of Skinnerfield, Chamber of Commerce, the Library Board, Red Flannel Festival. And I do want to say that in our negotiations that are ongoing with the festival, I have been impressed that even though perhaps there were some language missteps, which we will work out, they have also attempted to say, how can we all benefit? How can we help the city as well? How can we grow together? How can we help you do that? And I want to impress on everyone that is also going on. We will work out the language. We will get there. But in the meantime, everyone is coming to the table with our community at heart.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone for being here tonight. I know there's a lot of controversial issues on the agenda. Some we've tabled, some we've acted on. We need to continually look forward. We need to stop looking back. Unfortunately, Mr. Hopkins, that's the way it is. He can employ it. Whether or love or like it, I don't think it's necessary, but if that's what they feel they need to do, then that is the democratic process that we all live in everywhere. That's it in a nutshell. That's the democratic process, as Mr. Millington always taught us. The democratic process is the way. We may not like it, but majority wins. And having said that, we've been here a long time. There's a lot of exciting things going to happen in the future, and let's continue to look forward and move forward. If you look back, they pass us, and we don't want that. We want to stay ahead of the game. Having said that, thank you for everyone being here tonight and sticking around. Meeting adjourned.
Santa Mallett, when are you available? I was hoping